Hey guys, welcome back. It's Brittany with Brits Loving Life. I'm so glad you're here listening in. Today we're going to be talking about staying grounded when things get tough and how to do that. We're going to talk about some different elements that can hopefully help you if you're going through some challenges right now, or maybe just in preparation for when they come, because as entrepreneurs, we all know that they happen and they're inevitable, but we love them. They teach us a lot. So, welcome. If you enjoyed today's content, I hope you'll consider subscribing, give us a thumbs up, or even give us a rating if you enjoy this. And go ahead, follow me on social media if you'd like. My name, you can find me at Brits Loving Life on TikTok, Instagram at Brittany.realty. All right. So, how do we stay grounded when things get tough? Again, we all go through this. We all go through these challenges. And so it's important to give ourselves some ways or some insight on how to really work through those. We've all gone through them. So I'd love to hear in the comments below some ways that you've worked through your own tough periods. And hopefully some of this can actually help you going forward. Really, challenges, they're just part of the growth. Like I said, every challenge that you face, it's not a sign of failure by any means, because everybody goes through them. If you're not going through challenges, you're not doing it right. If you're not going through challenges, in fact, you're actually not growing. You're not experiencing any forward trajectory. You're really just kind of staying where it's even keel, and you're just in your comfort zone, right? And as entrepreneurs, we should be embracing and pushing ourselves outside of our comfort zone. So, I want to kind of reflect on ways that I was able to go through a tough circumstance. If you watched the previous episode, my journey through real estate, you saw me kind of walk through my experience, first through the dog stuff and then through real estate, where I started to get some momentum. Things started to really go on a promising trajectory, and then I went through several different setbacks and downfalls that made it feel like, whew, this is getting kind of tough. Is this really the right direction? Is this maybe I should consider something else? But I kept staying the path. I kept working through the challenges, and I never lost sight on where I wanted to be, which was a real estate investor. So I kept working through all of that and was able to get through it. So if you haven't yet, that might be a good one to go listen to kind of what that looked like. But that for me was definitely a challenge. I was losing income, so I had to make different changes and pick up some extra side jobs and make some moves that I didn't want to, moving to Idaho, which was, I take every experience, even if it's something that I didn't plan, I didn't want, there's always something to take from it. I'm big on learning from everything that I go through and looking at the positive. Like, I lost a $2 million transaction, which was my first real estate transaction working in commercial real estate as a real estate agent. And I lost the deal twice. Actually, we lost it, got it back, lost it again, which was very, I felt worse for my client than I did myself at the time. But at the time, I also was like, look, I learned so much from going through that process. And so same thing, by staying grounded and focusing on what that bigger picture was, even when I was meeting these setbacks and, these different jobs I was working weren't exactly aligning with my bigger goal of real estate investing, they were all building on that and eventually got me to where I am today, where I'm in that momentum. I'm actually involved in real estate investing. I'm actually getting out there and building my business, and that's where I've been wanting to be for years. But it took a lot of these building blocks to get there. And again, like a lot of it, for me, I'm always like, I want to do this and I want to do it now. I want it fast. But it's a learning process. You have to have that patience and really ground yourself when those things are tough. Because had I lost sight and had I let those tough situations tell me that this wasn't maybe the path that I should follow, or maybe I should look in a different direction, and being an entrepreneur, if you're just like me, you have a million different business plans running through your head all the time. So I could have taken all those other areas or avenues and really changed course. But I didn't. My biggest goal was still to fixate on that. So I hope that's a learning situation. Like maybe even reflect yourself. Has there been any circumstance within you that either you're going through now or you have in the past? Leave your comments below. I think it's a learning process for everybody. Staying grounded is also, it's not avoiding problems. Like I mentioned, I had to overcome several different things in order to overcome those. So it's not avoiding the problems. It's standing firm, and it's learning how to jump over that hurdle, grow from it, build on it, and then meet the next one. You're always going to have another one, so you keep going. So it's by being grounded. It's by no means are you saying I'm gonna avoid all this altogether. You've still got to go through it. It builds you up, makes you stronger, and it teaches you a lot. So I want you to reflect back to your core values and your mission. I've done several episodes that do talk about this, so I encourage you to look at previous ones. Where we talk about core values and how that mission can help you strategize in decision making, and how to, again, by staying grounded, by sticking it out when it's tough, having those core values and a mission statement is going to help you have your North Star, something to aim towards, and stay focused, right? That's what I did, and that's what got me through that. And now I can't even tell you how incredibly grateful I am that I did that. I went through so many challenges that made me really second guess if I should even do real estate anymore. And I bet, and this is, again, I talk a lot about real estate because that's like really what my business is in, but also I've got a coffee business and I've worked in several different types of businesses. So this can be implemented or applied to whatever it is. Again, real estate just happens to be mine. And so everything I say, like, take the information and apply it to yourself in your business, even if it's not real estate. If you are a person of faith, I would say lean on your faith. If you're not faithful, maybe you have something else that you can lean on, but people of faith like myself, lean on that. Turn to God. If again, that's your thing, turn to him and ask his advice to keep you grounded and continue staying the course. Make sure it's the right path for you, and he'll talk back to you. And I want you to also focus on setting boundaries and some rhythms. This will help you so you don't panic, because when you're going through some really tough circumstances, it's easy to panic and say, I need to quickly do this, or I need to do that. Sometimes just, really setting those boundaries and saying, I'm not going to panic if this happens. I'm going to take a step back and think it through before I make that decision. Again, use those value systems that you have, whatever they may be. Use them to your benefit to make those decisions and set those boundaries. And then get into a rhythm of, sometimes you do have to step back, or don't overwork yourself, especially if, whatever the challenge is that you're going through. Sometimes you need a second to step back. Sometimes you overstep by complicating it and overworking yourself, but then you're not thinking clearly. And then, you got too much going on in here, so you're not thinking strategically on all the steps you got to take. So I want you to do that and continue to practice that. Information overload. I mean, we put so much information into our brains all the time, and so sometimes taking a step back will help you to digest it all. For me, I'm big on writing things down, taking some quiet time, and just putting it all on paper or talking about it with somebody can help you really digest. Because, we're constantly scrolling on our phones, we're watching stuff, we're listening to podcasts, we're doing so many things, and so there's a lot of information being taken in. Sometimes to get re-grounded in yourself, you have to take a minute, be insightful, and really digest it. Focus on the things that you can control. That's going to be a big saving grace for you when you are going through a tough situation. There's so many things that can happen that are outside of our control, and if we try and problem solve things that in reality, we don't have a ton of control over, you're spinning your wheels, you're going to become more frustrated and really not make a ton of progress. So I would just say focus on the things that you can control. What's something that if you take action today is actually going to benefit for the better good of that tomorrow? What actually is in control versus what do you wish you could control and it really isn't on your plate? What can you delegate out? These are all things that are going to help you take control when we're working through challenges in these tough situations. All too often we find ourselves wanting to do everything at once, but really focus on the things that you control. Don't stress and worry about the things that you don't have control over. I know I'm saying it a lot, but it's so true. We all do it. And next, I would also say control your fear. A lot of times, fear is a very compelling motivator to either do the right or wrong thing. And so I did a video recently on TikTok about this, about having a healthy balance of fear. Like, you want enough fear to where, if you don't do something, nothing's going to get done. But you also don't want the fear of failure to stop you from doing anything at all. So it's a healthy balance. And sometimes you got to just digest that, again, step back and break it down. So I want to talk to you about a quote. So I love this one. When the wind picks up, roots matter most. That's a beautiful thing. You think about a storm, a tree can be swooshed with the wind and, it looks like it could come down, but it's got a huge root system within itself that it's holding itself up, right? And so I think that's a beautiful metaphor to really think about yourself and your roots, and always coming back to those value systems or your mission statement or whatever it is. Use those as guiding stepping stones when you're working through these things. They all come together to really help you stay grounded and work through those tough situations. And if you have any metaphors that maybe you live by or that you would like to recommend or put in the chat, I would love to hear those as well. So that's what I've got for you today. I hope that some of the information, if any of it is helpful, I would have you consider subscribing. Would love to have you join me in future episodes, and want to thank you so much for listening. I appreciate your time here with me, and I just want to say, may you walk with purpose and grow in grace, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.